just go search for the YouTube link so that we can share it. Okay, we have the YouTube link shared. We can start. Martin is the first one.
Hello, everybody. So I was working trying to get the demo ready yesterday, but I went a bit through the rabbit hole trying to improve our logging to make it look more professional. So yeah, I did a bunch of improvements there, and I have a PR. I think it's looking much better. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that as part of the log, we also log if the block is optimistic or not. And after that, I'm gonna be ready to have the little video with the consensus and execution plan. That's it for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a bunch of things that we usually don't think are valuable until we realize they are, and then we actually need them. So thanks for working on that. It's one of those things that's less gratifying, but once you get them done, that's awesome. So thank you very much for doing so. And also getting to do the demos is pretty important. The next one is Mete.
Hello everyone. As you know, I've been working on the state route to state in the database part, and there was some issues about that. I fixed those and had some build issues, and I fixed those as well. And afterwards, that's merged. I'll be working on the previous issue about the state ID to state part. And I'm in a root part. ID2 root, I guess, yes. And I've taken the store execution status for a block issue, and meanwhile, while those are merged, I'll be working on that one.
Okay, that's cool. I'm not very sure about what encompasses the current PR, because you mentioned this PR and then the next one, and I'm not sure about the difference between them. I'm sorry, it might be very subtle.
The thing is that we have a state route to state in the DB part that's done, and that will be merged. And I'll go back to that we misinterpreting the hash parameter part in the state ID route. I'll fix that one, and meanwhile I'll be working on the store execution status for a block while those are merged.
Okay, yeah, cool. I got it now. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, the next one is God's Power.
Good day, everyone. The methodization of the optimization I was working on, currently I've been able to make it work, and it's currently working properly. So, and I found out that the previous one is 3 times slower based on the benchmarking. So that's some progress. So so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to clean the PR off because I'm having some lint issues. But then I'm going to try and work on another issue. So it depends. I'm thinking of working on methodization of containers, but it still depends. And also there's an optimization opportunity which is also there. But it just depends. Yeah. But yeah, basically the optimization was worth it.
That's awesome. 3x is not an optimization that you have every day. So I'm glad that it worked. Let us know if you need any help, further testing that, in edge cases or whatever. But if that's a 3x, that's probably the case. So I'm really glad that you got that working. Feel free to open a PR if you haven't yet, and then we can just continue the discussion over there and see if we need any extra test cases or whatever. But yeah, congratulations on that one. I'm glad that you actually went forward with it. What else? Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask you something, which is what what parts of Merkleization do we have available now? I remember that we had Merkleization for basic types, for lists, for vectors. Are we missing Merkleization for containers, for instance? Is that something to be worked on in a separate PR?
Yes. Yeah, so we need mercurialization of containers. And
Cool.
we also need mercurialization of list of containers, either
Yeah.
vectors or lists. So mercurialization of collections, basically. So those two we need. We need them.
So containers and collections of containers, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
and union. I don't know if you're working on that currently. I think
I
I,
need to check up on Union. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was, we can catch up on that later. I was mostly asking because I remember that we have a chain of blocking here. Like Mete was working on an issue which was blocked by Merkleization, but you on yourself were blocked by what Fernando was doing on containers on our library. So we were kind of, this is like none of this is urgent, so we don't have anything to worry about, but I was just wanting to track this down and see what the current state was. So, and then Fernando is almost ready with containers, right? I reviewed one of the PRs that's missing yesterday, so I think that that's a good segue to Fernando. Do you have any final comments or questions, Cause Power, before moving on to Fernando?
no.
Perfect. Thank you for the updates. So Fernando's turn now.
Yes, for my part, yesterday I did, I think, some small tweaks for the PR of the schemas of all the containers. So I think it's almost ready to be merged. Also, I have been working on a PR about enabling all the spec tests for the general SSC spec test, adding the build list, the build vector, and the nested containers.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the updates. I will immediately review your schemas PR so that we can get that merged and unblock God's Power's work, and eventually unblock Mete on the other task. Thank you. We're almost ready with the SSL library. I'm very happy about that. It will be very nice to be able to fully replace what we have with our library. All right. The next one is Tomas.
Yesterday, I was mostly talking with Tomas about some some work we need to do for both the POC and to block the fork choice chain server. Today, I'm gonna be working on that. I also yeah, mostly that. I also review the PR about Martin about updating the logs. Yeah, I also studied a bit about consensus algorithms for another task. That's all.
Thank you for the updates. Yeah, so my day was very similar to Tomas's day yesterday. We were both in the office, so we discussed a lot of things. Some of the things we did were planning the concurrency design. I started many new issues to separate the tasks for that because that's a big one. I reviewed a bunch of PRs, and I worked also along with Tomas in some designs for some things we are going to publish about the consensus node, because we are meaning to be a little bit more public now that we are making big progress on things. So yeah, I've been mostly working on those kind of things. Today I will finish reviewing a couple of PRs, and then I will go back to the concurrency design. Maybe I'll even get to code some of it. Yeah, so I don't think I have many more updates myself. Do we have any final comments or questions? Okay, great. Thank you everybody for joining. I hope you all have a nice day and see you all tomorrow.